Okay, we're live. Hunter Hunter 407. There's a big fight on today, so I'm going to try and get through this pretty quick. Just wanted to read the chapter. Got a 30 minutes spare. Halkenburg, I've just seen just the first bit. So very exciting. Just going to post the stream to Discord and Twitter and then see if anyone's in, and then we'll just get into it shortly. But yeah, the chapter dropped last night. I don't know what I think someone else translated this, this one, because it's on Kubari. And TCB have hidden their official releases. No, their releases, only doing the Shueisha one. So I'm wondering also what's happening with that. Maybe they're just doing that when new chapters release, because they'll probably release their version today, or because One Piece is 2 weeks break, and just Black Clover just had official release, so just done by Shonen Jump. So it looks like there's not many series from the cover, and yeah, so. I think this chapter probably focuses on Halkenburg. We might see Heinrich go after the Troupe if he finds out. They're the main things I think are going to happen this chapter. But yeah, I mean, let's jump into it. I'm excited to read this chapter, nonetheless. So we have chapter 407, Negotiations. Very nice title. So we got Halkenburg in the coffin. Wow, it is a big walkway, fit for royalty, I guess. Damn. Pretty nice view. It's day 12, Thursday, 1 p.m. And we got Borskin is missing. Yeah, her last communication was right before the funeral procession. That was about 30 minutes ago. Maybe she had a sudden reassignment or was tracking someone suspicious. We agreed to report anything unusual and not just at the scheduled time. If something changed, there's no reason she wouldn't have contacted us. Right, we should assume the worst then. Borskin was abducted, but by whom and what's their motive? Who was Borskin again? Private first class in the Royal Army of the Culkin family and provincial hunter. Okay. Wait. How could she be inducted without struggling, without anyone noticing? A team with multiple people, the more of them working together, the easier the abduction. If they used some method, say a drug, to immobilize her and surrounded her with large men, it wouldn't draw any attention in such a dense crowd. If it were a similar face, like a fellow soldier, person could have pulled it off on their own. They could have lured her to the hospital by feigning an illness where accomplices would be lying in wait. If they're using Nen abilities, they might be able to control her like hypnosis. What if the Haley abducted Borskin with Nen abilities so they can use her to in an assassination attempt on Seri? True. So there are plenty of more methods. As for the worst case scenario, it's just as Momoli suggested, as Borskin anticipated. If one of us is captured, are we really okay going with no contact for negotiations and no rescue attempts should be made? Hey, you over there, why are you standing together? Keep proper distance and stay on guard. Special security alert is still in effect. Until the perimeter security is finished, we'll each have to think it over and decide what to do. Okay, so one of the guards has been captured. Look at Morena smiling. And then we have Borskin. Welcome, this is the Haley hideout. You must be Morena Prudo then. What is it you want? She looks very relaxed. Someone who's been kidnapped. I hope we will become allies. It's not mandatory, but there's a reason for it. To use an anomaly, you're in a position like a matching organ donor. We intend to do everything we can to convince you to join. Well, interesting. No restraint, 6 enemies around me, and my weapon has been confiscated. It depends on the conditions. I can't remember anything. This isn't a typical abduction. It seems like they use some power I don't understand. I can't give you an immediate answer, she says. Morena goes, it's wise to avoid answering yes or no, but please understand that the more I explain, the less likely it is that our side will be able to change what's to come. Is that a threat, she asks, and Morena replies, what? It depends on how you interpret it. I can't go into specifics, but the longer this goes on, the more dangerous it becomes for both sides. How convenient for you. You've not wrong there, but you shouldn't expect any decency from criminals like us. And so I decided on the quickest way possible, one that can also give you some agency. This is my first and last concession. We will settle this with a game of negotiations. If you retire from this game, you will lose all freedom except the ability to say yes or no. For now, I'll listen to the explanation of the game, Borskin says. It's a game where a parent makes a request to their child, and it continues until the child is left with an answer. I, the parent, have 7 cards that are placed face up. You, the child, have 5 cards that are placed face down. And the child selects one of the parent's cards first, and the parent responds, and the card goes to the graveyard. The parent selects one of the child's cards and turns it face up. The card then goes to the graveyard. This process repeated, and in the end, the child's last remaining card is the answer to the request. So the child is 4 yes cards and 1 no card. Please turn them over starting from the left side. Yes, no. This is the R card. You can use it to select 1 card from the child's graveyard and return it to your hand. In other words, if the R card stays in your hand until the end, you can exchange it for the card that will give you the answer you want. The Joker can transform into either yes or no. If it's your last card, you can use it to express your intentions as will. It's only for show, I guess. Why do you say that? Borskin replies, you said earlier that if I refuse to play the game, I would only be allowed to say yes or no, and all other freedoms would be taken away. That means you're starting with the prerequisite that I won't let you leave until you say yes, right? So what's the point of me playing this game? Turn over the next card. And she turns it over. An X. Just like Twitter X. The X card is neither yes or no. It means you don't have to give an answer. So if that's the last card, Borskin says, does that mean I can render the whole game invalid? Exactly right. If you have the card, you can leave here without answering yes or no. And we won't force negotiations upon you again until that, even if we have to have the opportunity to do so. I promise you that, Morena says. On the other hand, if another card leads to a yes or no decision, then you will need to be completely resolved and take full responsibility for that action. Are you okay with this? And Borskin replies, you're not even halfway through the explanation yet. In that case, I can't give a definite answer. She's thinking, from that explanation I've heard so far, it's obvious that this system doesn't work in my favor at all. At first glance, only one of the first 5 cards is yes, that forces you to follow the parent's request. Since there are more ways that you can say no and leave the game, it makes you think the child's side has the advantage. That's the first trap. Yeah, it's all in Morena's favor. Should I consider the yes card first? If it's what I have at the end, it will mean becoming her ally. This is basically the same as being forced to obey all the rules that will follow, which will be a total defeat. What if I have the no then? If it actually has the same amount of power as the yes card, the no card will seem advantageous at first, but once the game starts, it will bear its claws and reveal its true natural nature, depending on the explanation of the parents' cards. The yes and the no, what will it be? The true explanation will reveal all the unfortunate things that could happen to me if I say no. It will continue until I think I'm better off just saying yes. Based on that no and the Joker become pointless, so the R and the X are my only valid options. 2 out of 5, 40% isn't that bad, right? That's the second trap. How many of these cards are in my favor? I mean, they might not even be, X and R might not even be under there. Honestly, it doesn't matter. In a system where you are the parent, select my card, you can cheat as much as you want. Well then, I'll explain this card on the parent side, and the third trap is the worst of all of them. The purpose card. If you select this card, Morena goes, I will explain my purpose to you. The purpose of bringing you here and recruiting you as an ally, I'll try to be as concise as possible, but if you have questions about this purpose, I will gladly explain further to please listen carefully. Next, the power card. If you select this card, I will explain my ability to you. It may be beyond what you can comprehend, but I will explain my ability truthfully and with no deception. As long as it's about my ability, I will go it as many times as it takes for you to be satisfied. Morena goes. However, I have to reiterate that the longer this time goes on, the more dangerous it becomes for both sides. So please forgive me if I speak quickly. And then there's the Q and the A card, the question and answer card. For any questions you may have, however many, whatever they are, I'll answer as many as you need. However, I won't answer any questions about my purpose or ability. If you want to know that, you have to select those cards, and I can only give 3 answers to your questions. Okay, that's a lot. These 3 are yes, no, and yes and no, or they're closed answers, basically. If you want to know more about question asked with a question A, then select the question B card on your next turn. As long as it fits within the scope of the question, I will explain until all your doubts are resolved. However, with question B, only the last question for question A can be asked. So be careful how you finish question A. Understand? I understand. Borskin goes. And she's thinking, I don't need to answer yes, no question cards. Based on her gestures, expressions, and tone of voice, I can roughly tell which one it is. She replies, Borskin, there is something I'd like to confirm about the way we answer. Would it be okay to try out now? Let's hear it. You won't cheat at all in this game, yes or no? And then just a look that's very like she's going to cheat. And Mera replies, so you're suggesting we agree on the response pattern for negative questions. It's definitely important to check in advance, as misunderstanding can happen when asked something like, didn't you do it? There's a unique ethnic group where in response to the question, didn't you do it? They answer, yes, it didn't. Normally the speaker is considered the subject, so the response would be, no, I didn't. But for some reason in that culture, they view the questionnaire as the subject, and they answer with yes, as if to mean your question is correct. Perhaps it's a remnant of their warrior society or a virtue of their hospital culture. In certain regions where they live, it is said that they call others my own self. It's completely crazy, isn't it? Yokotani, one of Morena's henchmen, the other guy. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it was considered strange. This game seems to serve as both a rite and of passage for recruitment, and as an interview process. Borskin goes, Morena is likely using this conversation to observe the candidate, evaluate their personality and intelligence and suitability as an ally. Your answer then? And Morena replies, no, I won't cheat at all. I am my own subject. Got it. Yeah, Borskin replies. This woman, she says, what in the world is she so angry about? She's a devious woman. Okay, she won't cheat. And Borskin's thinking, based on her own behaviour and that of her subordinates, it's clear that she is the absolute master here. Although she exudes confidence, her respectful tone and manner towards me indicate that her group denies any organised cheating as well. Once you're down to your last yes or no card, I will explain it in detail. What happens next? If you want to know something in advance, please select these cards. A D. Lastly, D, the deal card. If there's a card you desperately want to bring back from the graveyard, you can select this one card. And in return for fulfilling my small request, I'll relieve it for you. After hearing the details of the small request, if you think it's too much, you can decline. In that case, however, I will take the turn to draw a card, and deal card will go to the graveyard, so please keep that in mind. The game ends when you're down to your final card, so the last chance to select this card is when you have 2 remaining cards. Well, that should be the complete explanation for the card's rules. Could you please decide if you want to play the game? If you accept one condition, I will play. Condition. Borskin says, I'm the one who gets to decide what to pick from the face down cards on the child sides, if that's okay with you. That's fine. I've allowed it a couple times already. It's okay if my side takes care of the shuffling, right? Now then, shall we begin? Borskin and Morena start their game in negotiations. Well, that was a very just a total light novel chapter of explanations. Yeah, it's, I mean, a lot of dialogue. I mean, I don't know, why is my thing not, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think, Borskin will be recruited next chapter. She's pretty smart. I don't know, why aren't the comments showing up on the, let me just fix that quickly. Oh, they are. Or is it delayed? Here, there, okay, it is showing up, okay. One of Seri's friends, I doubt it. Oh, nah, I mean, we can go into a profile and say I just finished Camera Ant on the series. It took so long. Yeah, it's Chimera Ant's great. I mean, I want to watch it again. So Borskin is a private first class in the Royal Army, a provisional hunter. So she's a hunter. I'll just quickly find Borskin. reveals they learn about it from Borskin Privill Hunter on security detail at a royal living quarters. Monomaly suggests waiting for Borskin arrival to confirm the facts. Borskin reuniting with the other soldiers after meeting five soldiers. Borskin explains to Surgeonic is learning Nen from Theta, his personal bodyguard, warning that they will instantly be demoted if they leak the top secret information. So Borskin is a part of the Royal Army as a provisional hunter, I believe, to Serejnik from memory. Borskin herself is unaware of what's classified. Borskin confirms, if with a smile on her face, chastening him for revealing the information to Corporal Gipper. Borskin calls him naive. Borskin points out that Gipper won't be able to get any information. Borskin points out how difficult it would be to avoid Morena while pretending to look for her. Yeah, so Borskin was looking for Morena. That's what I remember now. Another soldier says that it would be easy since they know Morena's face and she doesn't know theirs. However, Borskin replies that she probably does, since the tattoo artist who gave them their tattoos used to be a Haley member. Okay, adding that he only avoided the massacre during Morena's inauguration because Sreznik pulled him out. Okay. She reveals that they listed in the client database and that Morena most likely has information on personal soldiers. The soldiers worried about Morena capturing them. Okay, yep. The first soldiers wondered if Nen is really that dangerous. And Borskin explains that while she doesn't know the details, she would tell them from Theta and Sarkov's reactions that it's comparable to a top secret weapon. Ottosin quickly reminds them that he said it was more dangerous than a gun. So Borskin's been captured. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle of minds next week. I think Borskin's going to be recruited to Haley. She'll want to stay alive. So that's interesting. Unfortunately, I've got to end the stream early today because I've got to go somewhere. But thanks for watching. Thanks for leaving comments. Share this video and like, comment, subscribe as of always. Thanks very much.